Trying to maintain a sustainable pace without proper practices is like attempting to run a marathon without training. It leads to burnout and failure. Today, we'll explore how specific agile practices make sustainable delivery possible and why skipping them guarantees you won't be able to maintain pace. Sustainable pace isn't about working less, it's about working smarter. It's about creating a rhythm that teams can maintain indefinitely without exhaustion, inefficiencies, or mounting technical debt. Sustainable pace ensures that both individuals and teams can continue delivering high value work over the long haul at a steady, predictable rate. This contrasts with the all too common cycle of crunch periods followed by burnout and reduced productivity. If you've ever seen teams sprint hard for a few months, only to slow down due to stress, exhaustion, or defects piling up, you've witnessed what happens when sustainable pace is ignored. Good news is that the Agile Toolkit offers a wealth of practices designed to support sustainable work. Let's look at a few that make a tangible difference. Consider a Kanban board with WIP limits. We call those work in progress limits. This practice prevents overloading teams by setting clear boundaries on concurrent tasks. When work exceeds capacity, performance drops exponentially, a phenomenon backed by queuing theory. Focus is diluted, excessive effort is needed to keep up, and eventually, quality suffers. WIP limits act like a pressure relief valve, maintaining optimal flow and preventing system overload. For example, if a team takes on 10 tasks at once, progress slows because team members are constantly switching focus. Instead, a WIP limit of 3 ensures that work is completed before new work is started, allowing teams to move faster without accumulating unfinished work. This also ensures that the work being done is of good quality and delivered at a predictable pace. Research from the Project Management Institute shows that teams using Kanban with WIP limits complete work 30% faster than those without limits. More importantly, they maintain this pace consistently. By contrast, unlimited workflows that attempt to maximize multitasking show declining performance over time due to accumulated stress and technical debt. Beyond Kanban, time boxed iterations, such as those used in Scrum, create a natural cadence for work. By setting fixed length sprints, often 2 weeks, teams establish a consistent flow of planning, execution, and review. Time boxing doesn't just help manage the work, it ensures regular checkpoints to assess progress, identify bottlenecks, and adjust before things spiral out of control. For example, a team working in 2 week sprints has built in moments to inspect their workload, ensuring that they don't unknowingly build up unsustainable commitments. By keeping focus on the committed work within the sprint, they are able to maintain a sustainable pace of delivery indefinitely. Daily stand ups aren't status updates, they are decision making tools. These brief check ins help teams spot early signs of overload, adjust priorities, and ensure roadblocks are addressed before they snowball into bigger problems. For example, a developer struggling with a task might reveal in a stand up that it's more complex than expected. Instead of letting it fester, the team can immediately discuss alternatives, perhaps bringing in another expert or adjusting scope. These early course corrections ensure the team is able to maintain the expected pace of progress, reducing the risk of delivery disruptions despite unexpected complexity uncovered during implementation. Sustainable pace isn't just about managing workload. It's also about continuously improving how the work is done. Retrospectives help teams reflect on what's working and what isn't, allowing them to refine processes before inefficiencies build up. For example, consider a team that consistently finds their rush at the end of each sprint. In a retrospective, they realize their work estimation is off. Adjusting their planning process prevents future burnout. The inspection done during retrospectives isn't just about the product that was delivered, it's just as much, if not more, about the effort taken to deliver it. This helps identify ways to streamline processes and avoid pitfalls in future iterations. The great news is that AI can amplify these practices to help teams maintain sustainable delivery. For example, automated CI/CD pipelines handle repetitive tasks like testing and deployment in minutes instead of hours, reducing manual workload. AI powered monitoring can track WIP limits, predict bottlenecks, and suggest optimizations before problems escalate. AI driven analytics provide real time insights, enabling teams to adjust workloads dynamically without overcommitting. However, there's a catch. AI doesn't replace good agile practices, it amplifies them. If your team is already overloaded, AI won't magically fix it. However, if you have sound practices in place, AI can help reinforce and enhance them. Biggest mistake teams make is thinking they can push through and address sustainability later. The reality, if you don't implement these practices from the start, technical debt starts accumulating, stress increases, and quality drops. By the time you realize the problem, it's often too late, leading to rushed fixes, missed deadlines, and frustrated teams. For example, if you've gotten into the habit of skipping retrospectives and ignoring work limits because they seem like nice to haves, you may find yourself paying compounded interest on that savings. Your velocity collapses, quality decreases, and missed deliveries increase. Once teams fall into the trap of cutting corners, problems layer and multiply faster than AI itself can solve them. Sustainable pace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for long term success. So, what agile practices have helped your teams maintain sustainable pace? Have you seen the impact of implementing or skipping key practices? Share your experiences in the comments. And if you'd like to learn more about lean and its role in establishing long term sustainable flow, click one of these. I'll be happy to tell you all about it.